Now at noon, breaking news. At least 2 people are killed and 6 people injured in a school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin. Police confirm the shooter is also dead.
A shooting at a Christian school in Wisconsin is tragic as it comes, but Biden's cookie-cutter response shows his ignorance and a play on his agenda. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NR certification of multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like channel like content, want to do, you can support me with the link. Everything is appreciated. And once again, I have to reiterate, comments are being removed from gun-related channels without notice. So please be aware that this is happening. If I remove your comment, I will tell you. Well, let's talk about this. Now, December 16th, a tragedy at a Wisconsin, is a Christian school, and then from all accounts, a very small school, but a 15-year-old student opened fire on his classmates, killed 2 and injured 6. This is tragic. But what is even more tragic and disturbing is the response by Biden. He pulls out once again a cookie cutter response to this shooting as he once again calls for things that have absolutely no foundation or any attachment to the actual tragedy that happened. I want to go ahead and give you some more information about this event so we can be up to speed.
So police say the suspected gunman was a juvenile and also a student at Abundant Life Christian School.
I was just watching the local news there in Madison as it looks like elementary school students were getting off a bus at a safe center, getting some pizza for the day, as this reportedly happened as some students would have been going to lunch. The police chief in Madison said his staff just trained for an active shooter 2 weeks ago. Today, just before 9 a.m. our time, police believe a student opened fire at the Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. It's a kindergarten through 12th grade private Christian school. Officers from around the state and county responded immediately and entered the school.
Officers located a juvenile who they believe was responsible for this deceased in the building. Additionally, the officers began administering life-saving efforts to anyone who was wounded and making sure that those persons were transported.
As of right now, 3 people are reported dead, including the shooter. One of those people is under the age of 18, according to police. 6 others were injured. The University of Wisconsin Health Hospital reports treating those patients. Authorities say victims are suffering minor to life-threatening injuries. Police did not report on the age, gender, or motive of the shooter. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes said this is something the department trains for, but hopes they never have to do.
To be honest with you, I'm feeling a little dismayed now. So close to Christmas. Every child, every person in that building is a victim and will be a victim forever. These types of trauma don't just go away.
You heard that and you saw that. Biden's response as he comes out of the White House is once again, as he always does, he brings up shootings of the past. Newtown, Uvalde, Parkland, so forth and so on. Talks about giving out prayers, but I want to bring you to this part right here at the bottom of his statement. My administration is taking aggressive action to combat the gun violence epidemic. We passed the most significant gun safety legislation in nearly 30 years, which has not changed anything, as you have noticed. I have taken more executive action to reduce gun violence than any other president in history, because if you killed any other way, he really couldn't give a damn about you, and I'm going to point that out. And I created the first ever White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention. Now, this Office of Gun Violence Prevention is nothing more than a money laundering scheme to get states to pass red flag laws by bribing them with money. Okay, I've talked about that at length. But more is needed. Congress must pass common sense gun safety laws, universal background checks, a national red flag law, a ban on assault weapons and high capacity magazines. Here's the problem, Ed Joe. This was a handgun. What the hell is an assault weapons ban and a magazine capacity ban going to do for you? Nothing, especially in this situation right here. It's once again showing his disconnect. He is so agenda driven that common sense is out the door. It has no place in his world. I want to come in here real quick, but this is an article here where civil rights groups blast Biden's reaction to Wisconsin tragedy. The Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms condemns President Joe Biden's crass exploitation of Monday's tragic school shooting incident at a private Christian school in Madison, Wisconsin, in an effort to push his tired, and in this case, irrelevant past its expiration date, gun ban agenda. Now, what this article points out, and I'll try to leave it in the description box, I need to be more proactive with that. The things that Biden is calling for, based on this tragedy, have no bearing on the actual event. An assault weapons ban has no bearing on this because a handgun was used. Universal background checks have no bearing on this event because this person was 15. It is already illegal under federal law and just about every state law for a person of 15 years old to go buy a handgun. Now, I do say that we need to find out where this handgun came from. We do need to hold people accountable in this situation and find out how this person got a hold of it. But to say that we need a universal background check has no bearing on this case. It's once again, it's a disconnect, which in Biden's case is not too hard to believe, but is a disconnect from the reality of what is happening. And this statement from John Gottlieb really kind of captures it, because it captures it every single time. And like I said, common sense has no place in these people's minds. But, quote, "We join all Americans in deploring this horrible crime," Gottlieb said, "but attempting to penalize every law-abiding citizen who owns or may someday wish to purchase a firearm will not undo the tragedy. Biden and his fellow gun prohibitionists all know the incident in Madison would not have been prevented, even if all the laws he now wants to pass have already been in effect. It is dishonest to suggest otherwise, but, of course, honesty has hardly been the earmark of the Biden administration." Okay, I'm going to come out of that. And this is not new. Okay, this is not new. This is Biden and his handlers at his best. Because if you remember, Virginia, University of Virginia, a person used a handgun to shoot 3 football players, and an ex-player, who I don't know what his situation was, whether he'd been thrown off the team or not, retaliated by shooting 3 of his fellow players. Biden comes out and says, we need an assault weapons ban, but it's a handgun. Walmart in Virginia, an employee walked in and killed 6 of his fellow co-workers with a handgun. Biden once again comes out front and center and says we need an assault weapons ban, a magazine capacity ban.
The idea we still allow semi-automatic weapons to be purchased is sick. It's just sick. It has no social redeeming value. Zero, none. Not a single solitary rationale for it except profit for the gun manufacturer.
Can you do anything about gun laws during the lame duck service?
I'm going to try.
What will you try and do?
I'm going to try to get rid of assault weapons.
Once again, Joe, it's a freaking handgun. What is an assault weapons ban going to do for that? Nothing. It's bloody well disturbing. But you also have to remember that Biden picks and chooses when he's going to be present for these shootings. Because I'm going to bring you back to this event. If we clearly remember the Christian school shooting in Nashville, okay, we all remember that event. When it was revealed that the shooter was transgender, all of a sudden that story took a whole new twist. Remember, Biden ran to every single school shooting where a so-called assault weapon was used, but he didn't go to Tennessee. He did not go to Tennessee. He did not meet with the victims' families. Nothing. Kamala Harris went down there, and what did she do when she went there? She didn't meet with the victims' families either. She actually just decided to go meet up with the 3 Tennessee House members who staged the coup, because according to Democrats, any action that disrupts a legal government proceeding is a coup, but she went to go meet these people who staged a coup on the House floor in Tennessee. It took a year to get the manifesto of the shooter, Audrey Hale. It took a year. And the only reason we got it is because it was leaked to the internet. And instead of saying, well, we needed to get this information out, what did they do? They basically put them under investigation. So don't believe the hype that Joe Biden or any of these anti-gun people actually care about the safety of the individual at the root cause, especially when you have events like this and all they can do is pull out the same tired ass talking points that have become so numb that people pretty much, for the most part, ignore it. Nothing that Joe Biden is claiming or advocating for would have prevented this incident. But the school, his Christian school, did not have a resource officer. There was no one there to prevent this person from attacking their classmates. These people were literally defenseless. Why? Because schools, for the most part across the country, not everywhere, but mostly, are gun-free zones, which makes them shooting galleries. It's very frustrating that with the loss of life, that it becomes a political sport. Death is a political sport. If your shooting fits a specific narrative, you're going to get all the support in the world. If your death does not fit that narrative, we don't care about you. We're going to ignore you completely. We're going to shrug our shoulders and move on. And that's really damn disturbing. But he's got a month left, and I suppose he's going to try to do as much damage as he possibly can on his way out the door, as we have seen him making moves that are questionable. But 1 month, we're going to have a change of the guard, and hopefully cooler heads will prevail and common sense becomes the norm again. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.